lights low, camera on me, wave crash in the background. Welcome to the story, stay wavy with the Jab TV with the hook. Every round heavy now, better take a good look. Ring bell, gloves up, hear the bass get loud. We make campus shake.
Officially 4 days away from the mega fight between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. I'm actually very interested in this fight. Shout out to Gervonta Tank Davis for being Chris Brown and Ike Turner. You know, if those two guys were to mix and have a baby together, man, like he just can't keep he can't keep his hands to himself, man. He can't stop putting his hands on women. So shout out to Gervonta Tank Davis for fumbling the $40 million Jake bag that he was gonna cash in on and then retire and sail off into the sunset on a pony, you know, wearing a purse with his fingernails painted French coat, you know what I'm saying? And now we have a fight where Jake Paul is 100% guaranteed to not just lose, but Jake Paul is going to get knocked out. And if you're a betting man, if you're whoever's listening to this video, if you like to place bets, bet that Anthony Joshua is going to knock out Jake Paul in the first round. If this fight goes past the first round, it's rigged, it's fixed. Anthony Joshua was paid off because Anthony Joshua is a gold medalist. He's a former undisputed heavyweight champion. And even though Anthony Joshua has suffered multiple losses in his career, he's not washed, right? He's not like Deontay Wilder is right now in this point in time, right? Like Anthony Joshua's not washed. He's not, is he past his prime? Yeah, you could say that. But Anthony Joshua, bro, like this dude, he's a beast, man. You know what I'm saying? And Jake Paul doesn't stand a chance. Okay? Jake Paul is not a natural heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? So he's putting on extra weight just because he's going up against a real heavyweight. And this isn't going to be the situation that we saw with Mike Tyson, where everybody thought Mike Tyson was going to knock out Jake Paul. Guys, Mike Tyson is damn near a senior citizen, right? Not just that, but Mike Tyson does drugs, okay? He smokes weed, he takes ayahuasca, he does all these podcasts talking about the toad, you know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson had no business getting in that ring with Jake Paul. And I made a video, you guys can go back on my channel, I told everybody that Jake Paul was gonna beat Mike Tyson. I told people that Jake Paul was gonna knock out Mike Tyson. And he clearly could have knocked out Mike Tyson. He was holding back. He didn't want to hurt Mike Tyson. And everybody was thinking about prime Mike Tyson that was just stopping everybody, bro. And I'm like, bro, that was like fucking 20, damn near 30 years ago. That Mike Tyson is long and gone. Like, if you guys even look at the last couple of fights that Tyson had in his professional boxing career, he wasn't the same. He got brutally knocked out by Lennox Lewis, bro. Like Mike ain't been Mike for a while. You know what I'm saying? But Anthony Joshua is still in his 30s. He's still active. His most recent fight was against Daniel Dubois. And that was a very competitive fight. Now, obviously, Anthony Joshua got knocked out in that fight. But Anthony Joshua dropped Dubois in that fight. It's not like Anthony Joshua just got dominated. No, he just ran into a nasty punch. Both guys got dropped. And Daniel Dubois, who's the younger fighter, he knocked out AJ, right? But I'm going to tell you guys what's going to happen. From the moment that bell rings, Jake Paul is going to run for his life. Jake Paul is going to be doing a lot of moving around. He's going to be doing a lot of hugging, right? He's going to be doing everything in his power to stop Anthony Joshua from landing clean on him, okay? And listen, if Jake Paul can make it past the first round, I'll give Jake Paul all the... Listen, I'm already giving Jake Paul credit for taking this fight. Like, just the fact that he's fighting Anthony Joshua in 4 days, right? Like, think about this, guys. For years, we've been saying that Jake Paul is never going to fight somebody that can actually beat him, right? We've seen him get in there with a former NBA basketball player, Nate Robinson, who's like 5'9". Nate Robinson got brutally knocked out by Jake Paul, right? We've seen him get in there with former retired UFC fighters like Nate Diaz and Tyron Woodley, right? Tyron Woodley, by the way, he actually did a very good job the first time he fought Jake Paul. But the second time he got knocked out, unfortunately, okay? But you know, it seemed like the Jake Paul blueprint is to fight somebody with a name, regardless of what sport they're in. Fight somebody with a name that isn't a current active professional elite boxer. And for a long time, Jake Paul got away with that. He only has one loss to Tyson Fury's brother. And I think Jake Paul did a very good job in that fight against Tommy Fury. I actually think Jake Paul won that fight, but Tommy Fury did indeed drop Jake. I believe he dropped Jake Paul in that fight, right? Or was it Jake Paul that dropped Tommy? I don't really remember. But anyway, Jake Paul did a good job against Tommy Fury. But there's levels to this shit, man. We seen what happened when Anthony Joshua got in there with Francis Ngannou, who is basically the same size as Anthony Joshua, punches just as hard as Anthony Joshua. Like, Francis Ngannou is arguably the most dominant heavyweight UFC fighter of all time. Like, he's just known for knocking dudes out, right? Had that loss against Stipe, you saw what happened in the rematch. He knocked out Stipe, right? And Francis Ngannou arguably beat Tyson Fury. He dropped Tyson Fury. Many people think he won that fight, but we all know that boxing was not gonna allow Francis Ngannou to beat Tyson Fury. That's when Tyson Fury was coming off of those 2 wins against Deontay Wilder, right? He had the first was a draw, and then he knocked out Wilder in the second and third fight, right? We all know that boxing was not gonna let Francis Ngannou beat Tyson Fury by decision. The only chance Francis really had in that fight was knocking out Tyson Fury, right? But yeah, man, Anthony Joshua got in there with Francis Ngannou, and he made easy work of him. Flatlined him, knocked him out, I think in the second or third round. Made it look easy. So, you know, Jake Paul is half the size of Francis Ngannou. Jake Paul is like he's like just about 6 feet, 6'1". Usually fights at cruiserweight, so he's putting on the extra pounds, right? And I don't think Jake Paul can hurt Anthony Joshua. I know Anthony Joshua's chinny. We seen Joshua he got stopped by Andy Ruiz, got stopped by Dubois, lost 2 fights to Oleksandr Usyk. But Jake Paul can't hurt Anthony Joshua, bro. I think if Anthony Joshua put both of his hands down and just let Jake Paul hit him one good time, I don't think AJ would even move. AJ would probably just stand there and grin and just smile at him like on some Vegeta type shit. Anthony Joshua is going to knock out Jake Paul in the first round, right? Everybody is going to get what they've been wanting to see for years, right? We've all wanted to see Jake Paul get his ass knocked out, and we are finally going to see it. And for those that saying that the fight's going to be rigged, this is a professional boxing fight. If Anthony Joshua loses this fight, not only would his career be over, his legacy would be tarnished. So, you know, and I've already seen Eddie Hearn do interviews like, this fight's not rigged, guys. This is a real fight. Anthony Joshua, I heard, is getting paid like $80 million for this fight. It's going on both boxers' professional boxing records. The only time a fight is fake is when it's an exhibition. This is a professional sanctioned boxing fight. The reason why the Jake Paul and Tank fight was an exhibition is because of the size difference. Gervonta Davis is barely 5 feet tall. He's basically a midget, okay? Jake Paul is 6'1", 6'2". So, of course, boxing is not going to let that be a sanctioned professional fight because it just doesn't make sense. That's why I'm so glad that the fight got canceled, because it was stupid. I probably wasn't even going to watch it, to be honest with you guys. But this fight's going to be interesting. Alicia Baumgartner, the finest female boxer of all time. Shout out to Alicia Baumgartner. You know what I'm saying? I'll be on her TikTok watching her lives, man. I'm in love with Alicia Baumgartner, man. She's gorgeous, man. Like, I know Clarissa Shields is the face of boxing, but I consider Alicia Baumgartner the face of boxing. I know she done tested positive for PEDs and all that, but she's so fine that I feel like she gets a pass. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? And she ended up clearing that from her name as well. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all tune in this Friday. Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. We're going to end off 2025 watching Jake Paul get his ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, even if you don't bet, if you want to make some easy money, put $10, $50, $100 on Anthony Joshua knocking out Jake Paul in the first round. Like, this is one of those situations where I just feel like it's a win-win situation. Anthony Joshua is a professional, active, full-time boxer. Jake Paul is also a professional boxer, but he doesn't even have half or a quarter of the percentage of an Anthony Joshua's boxing career, okay? So let me know what you guys think. It's your boy Wavy, StayWavyTV. Make sure y'all subscribe, thumbs up the video, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out.
Stay wavy signing out. Ride the tide, no doubt. From the rooftop glow to the neon cloud. You tapped in, so I gotta say love. Like, subscribe, keep the motion above. Until the next wave, we out. Peace.